Hello, this is Linnea Quigley, and you're listening to Gag Me with a Knife.
Hello, Nick, are you ready for a slumber party?
Yeah.
We're gonna have a Ouija board, and we're gonna try to talk to those people that just died on the Titanic.
Can I come to the party?
Can we play Truth or Dare?
Well, duh.
On the Titanic.
On the Titanic. Mary Todd Lincoln.
I'm gonna draw everyone naked.
We should call for Mary Todd Lincoln.
Mary Todd Lincoln.
We should
Todd Lincoln.
What you been thinking?
Patreon members, if you pay a little bit extra, I will draw Mary Todd Lincoln doing anything you want.
We should contact her spirit.
That's
on the Titanic.
Saying. On the Titanic.
We just need a medium.
Well, no, we could just use a Ouija board.
No. I know what she looks like.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's your favorite final girl and boy, Emily and Nick, coming at you with a favorite final Mike.
Yo.
And we got a new episode of Gag Me with a Knife, a weekly podcast where we dissect, disembowel, and shred the best and worst slasher movies. Since originally Slumber Party Massacre movies were done all in one episode, we thought we needed they needed each of their own. Sorry.
You know that's right.
Time for you to get into your jammies. And, hey, let's play footsie. Emily, play footsie at the back of that.
This is about the original Slumber Party Massacre, the first one. When Trish decides to invite her high school basketball teammates over for a slumber party, she makes 3 big mistakes. Number 1, she snags the pretty new girl next door. Number 2, she forgets about teenage pranksters Jeff and Neil. Number 3, her biggest mistake, she doesn't know about an escaped mental patient who will soon be dropping in on their party. With its portable drill, written, directed, and produced by women, Slumber Party Massacre will scare you right down to the core. You'll love it. 1982. By the way, number 2 that she forgets about the teenage pranksters Jeff and Neil, I did also. I forgot they were in the movie. Like, they're very unmemorable. Don't care. Might get us started.
All right.
Oh, wait, no, Mike. Nick, your thoughts. Sorry. Initial thoughts.
I haven't seen the third one until this, but my whole thing is like I've always liked the first and the second one a lot.
I like the second and third one more than the first one, but
I like the second one. That's my favorite. But I do like it's kind of a copycat thing a little bit.
Well, it's supposed to originally be a parody movie on slasher movies.
You can tell a little bit,
but Corman didn't want to
have a copycat. But the thing is, I grew up with this film, and then on top of that, it's like I do like the adage of like the driller killer. Like, do you guys know that old like what is it, urban legend, the claw like on the fucking whenever the teens drive off,
the hook?
Yeah, the hook.
Yeah
it's similar but not, like, you know what I mean. It's in the same fucking kind of thing.
Mike, I love it. Well, no, I don't love it. I think this movie's average. 2 and 3 are far superior to this one, in my opinion. But it's fine.
This one's way better than 3.
You can suck a dick about it, but you can suck Mary Todd Lincoln's dick about it, probably.
She's got 3.
I thought she was a lesbian.
Well, yeah, but she has a fake one.
She's got 3 for the ladies, and she's got other things for the guys.
Yeah.
Let's get to that red text title, the hallmark of 80s excellence. There's a palm tree. There's a nice house. There's some cool music.
And it's Michigan.
There's a paper boy. The front of the paper says, Mass Murderer 5, Russ Thorne escapes. Trish doesn't see it because she's lazing about in bed.
She doesn't see it because she's still a woman named Trish.
She wakes up to a girl screaming on the radio
she can't escape that her name is Trish.
They don't make those anymore. That's an outdated model.
Yeah.
No more Trishes.
You know Barbie, there was probably a knockoff Barbie named Trish.
Yeah.
I had a babysitter. I didn't usually have babysitters.
That was a Family Dollar Barbie.
I had one girl that would babysit me. Sometimes her name was Tirsha.
I have an aunt named Torsha.
You have a what?
Aunt Torsha.
Is she white too?
Yeah.
Porsche?
Yeah, Tirsha was white too.
It's called a Porsche.
Torsha.
Yeah, it's just a car.
Did your uncle marry a car?
He's one of those people.
No, my mom.
Hey, look at this baby. She's garage kid.
My strange addictions and his uncles and stuff. There was one about a guy that was in love with his card, like would get underneath it and fuck it.
Dinner and all that shit.
Yeah, it's your uncle.
No, it's my mom's sister.
Your mom's sister is a car? Like
Portia.
Christine?
Jimmy.
She said
What?
Stuart, Elizabeth, and Torsha.
You have
Jimmy
a relative
a boy
named
or a
Jimmy
girl?
Stewart?
You're
Yeah.
related to Jimmy Stewart.
Whoa.
My uncle.
My grandmother.
No, just wait a minute.
My grandmother's name is Jimmy with an IE. Jimmy Louise.
My grandfather's name is Bobby Joe. But he just goes by Bob.
Okay. Well, and next time I see him, I'll make
Family
sure.
names.
My
Okay. So
my
Trisha's
godmother
short
is married
for
to Lincoln.
Patricia,
So
What?
Trisha's short for Patricia.
What?
Trish is
it's probably short for Patricia. Yeah.
No, Trish is
You
short
could
for
also be
Trisha.
named Trish in the 80s, though.
Yeah.
Like Tiffany. Like, can you imagine some 90-year-old woman eventually is going to be a Tiffany?
Oh, yeah. Or a Misty.
It's so weird. Like Kelly.
Yeah, Misty.
Misty, you know, Chrissy, my grandmammy, Chrissy.
Great Grammy Chrissy.
Yeah, Tiffany.
One of my buddies who I play in a band with, his mom's name is Candy.
Ooh,
yummy.
grandmammy Candy.
Yeah.
Goodness.
What a tacky ass name. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
There's a
That's
girl
her name.
screaming on the radio, but then she finds out she won a T-shirt and she's
Oh
not
yeah, it's
that
a girl
happy
that
about
just
it.
won something on the radio.
Then Trish is getting ready. She
On
shows
the
off
radio.
her breasts. There's nudity in the scene. Trigger warning.
Disclaimer.
Trigger warning.
There's a lot more later, but
Trigger warning.
She puts
What's
in a-
that trigger?
It's a for summer dresses, sundress.
Oh.
She puts on a sundress. She's
It
putting
triggers summer dresses.
she's putting all her
I
stuff.
see tits. I want a dress.
She's putting all her stuffies in a bag because she's throwing away childish things. Thorn
She got
stories
those
on the
boobs.
radio. She's not paying any attention.
Wait, what's on the radio, Mike?
The Thorn
on
story.
the radio.
The news that Russ Thorn has
Has
escaped.
escaped from the mental institution in
The
which
hook. The drill.
he doesn't have a hook.
Yeah, but he's got a power tool.
I mean, a drill's kind of like a very spirally hook.
That's what I meant about it.
It's
what I
also
said earlier.
electric and is
It
a
needs a
power
cord.
tool. But,
Back then it needed a cord.
But yeah, sure.
Big batteries.
No, his just needed batteries. His isn't.
16D battery.
His isn't just like plugged in.
6D battery.
No, he walks around with it unplugged. It's not like in a movie where you know those
16D.
movies where they'll like have where someone will find like one of the final people will find a power tool and they'll start running with it. It'll
Yeah.
be plugged in and then they get like thrown back.
Yeah.
That happens in this movie.
Well,
No, it
the
doesn't. I didn't
scariest
think it
part of
was
this
plugged in
movie
in
was
this one.
whenever he was shopping at a department store for the batteries.
Okay, so
Get to it, Mike.
Yeah, hurry up, Mike.
the parents are going on a trip, so Trisha's going to have the house alone. Slumber party, it's not announced yet. Getting ahead of myself. Then we see the neighbor, Mr. Content, is watching. Mr. Content's a weird name. So
Is he though?
she's-
Is he content?
She knows she's having her homegirls over. She doesn't want
No
to get
answer.
clowned on, so she throws away a bunch of stuffed animals and
yes,
a Barbie.
rude.
And we see a hand taking the Barbie out of the trash. We can't tell who it is taking the Barbie.
Oh yeah, because later on it's like hung up or something.
It's like you think it's the neighbor, you think it's one of the boys, you think it's the killer. You never know.
You think it's just one of the guys that movie, but then it just came out later. It was a movie that just came out later.
You think it's one of the Wayans brothers, but it's not.
It's not. They haven't. They're little. They were children.
They were wandering around.
So we leave.
It's not a Baldwin either.
It's not in living color yet, Mike.
We leave Trisha's house.
It might
and
be
we're
an
in high school
Estevez.
now.
I don't know.
And the guys are talking about the girls.
Did you know that Nick Cage was a Coppola? Because I did not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
What a fucking horrendous
Well,
human being. I did
with the
not.
scene that Mike's talking about, it was definitely not a Coppola.
Listen, I just watched Snake Eyes.
Renfield?
No, Snake Eyes, which is a De Palma film, and I quite liked that one. And then I
quite
watched
liked it
Con
indeed.
Air, which I'd never seen. Although I'd always said Con Air Bud would be a good movie with a mixture of Con Air and Air
It's about
Bud.
a giant hair dryer.
But Con Air.
We don't need no motherfucking dogs on this motherfucking plane.
But I thought it was really good until it lasted for 2 hours. I was like, the last 30 minutes for real right now. Although I did like Dave Chappelle in it. And I did like, oh God, John Malkovich is always just awesome.
So
Nick Cage wasn't awesome. He was
In
his
Slumber
usual
Party
shitty
I
Massacre,
get
self.
we're
realized
at
most
high
with
school.
Steve Buscemi from that movie.
Is he in that?
Oh yeah. He.
Mike, you're like Steve Buscemi.
And Con
I like
Air.
Steve Buscemi.
He's like Gary Sinise in Snake Eyes. He's the bad
he
guy.
relates to Freddy Krueger, so Steve Buscemi's Hannibal Lecter character.
I forgot Steve Buscemi, but there's a lot of fucking people
I've
in
never
that
seen
movie.
Con Air. I've never seen
I didn't
Face
watch
Off.
it till recently,
Never
and I
seen
was
it.
very excited, and I thought it was really good up until I was like,
I like Wild
holy
at
shit,
Heart.
this has been going on for, I was like, I was having fun until this started going on, and I was like, an action movie should not be 2 fucking hours long, except for I guess now they make superhero
Conan the
movies.
Barbarian.
You watched it recently and you don't remember Steve Buscemi's part in that?
Not really, but like I also
it
fell asleep
the,
during the
like,
movie.
main
Hannibal Lecter, like
I fell asleep
and then
like,
he's
around when
in a
he
drain
like
pool with like a
when-
little girl like playing like tea.
We've never
I fell
talked
asleep
about
around
Con
when he
Air
like
more than
came
Slumber Party
out
Massacre.
and got on a motorcycle, and I was like, what the fuck's
No,
happening?
that's exactly how it ended.
I
Him
was
and that
like-
fucking kid got on a motor. Steve Buscemi and that kid got on a motorcycle and rode up.
Remember how
He
the
shouldn't
like
be
when
around
epic
children.
movies used to be 2 and 2 and a
Buscemi shouldn't
like,
be around.
Okay, The Godfather is 2.5 hours long. Okay, so that was supposed to be an epic tale. And now the new Batman was 3.5 hours long. Excuse me? I don't think so. I'm not fucking watching that.
Yeah.
An action movie doesn't need to be more
Comic
than 2
book
hours.
movies are
Con Air.
dumb.
It's like 1 hour and 55 minutes. Fucking dumb. Anyway, go ahead.
All right, so we're at high school now, and I think it's Jeff and Neil. They're talking about the girls and about how they're going to crash the party, and they see this cute girl working on the phone system or something, and he's trying to get this MILF's number, but they're walking away, and somebody grabs her into the van, and she's screaming, but they can't hear it, and the driller killer strikes.
I cannot get a contact buzz. Drug test.
Then there's a basketball scrimmage, and it's pretty heated, man. And the new girl Valerie is really hooping it up, and Trish is her.
I love. Okay, this is another thing I thought
a good
about.
scene.
You know, in Carrie at the beginning, where
It's a good basketball scene.
like they play volleyball and she's not good, and then like everyone gets really mad at her, and Chris is like, "You eat shit," and like everyone in this game
Yummy.
too is like very wanting to like be good at
They're taking
basketball.
it
Like,
real serious.
who really gave a fucking shit about what sports
They're like
they
the
were
Yellow
playing in
Jackets.
gym? Like, did you really care if
Did
your
you
team
finish
won?
the second season of Yellow Jackets?
Yeah, I finished it when it came out.
Yeah.
But they were on a soccer team. This is a game you're
And they
playing
were
in
going to
gym.
nationals.
This is gym. This is just a gym. You're just
Yeah.
in gym. Get over it. You're gonna get over it, Chris. Although you're hot, but I mean,
Okay, so
Get her it, but like keep doing what you're doing.
it's time to hit the showers. It lingers lovingly on some booties and boobies. There's a story about spiking a baby.
He felt passionate about that.
oh yeah, she's like, Daniel, touchdown. That the
Spikes
girl
the
that's like a
baby.
really big snob says it.
Is that Diane?
Yeah,
It can be.
the one that's like, I think I'm getting better at it. That
So
one.
Trish wants to invite Valerie to the
Okay,
party
is
they're
it
having
her or
tonight.
not? I don't know.
It's a slumber party tonight. The team's coming. Trish wants to invite Valerie, the new
Everybody's
girl
gonna be
from
tickling.
across the street, and Diane and Jackie and Linda, or they're all going, and Kim. Trish says no to the invite.
Don't you guys
Or, I'm
remember
sorry,
the
Valerie
days of
says
like
she
high
can't
school
come.
slumber parties where you just tickled each other?
That's a form of torture, Nick.
No. It's a form of like, hey,
No, it's a form of torture. Don't watch the documentary.
tickling?
Yeah,
There's a documentary
It's
of it?
called Tickling, I think. Yeah, it's like
Really?
called Tickle. It's about tickle tournaments and like it's all fucked up.
Tickle tournaments?
It's this guy this guy went to like do
Get
a
ready for
documentary
the
about these
tickle
tickling
tournament.
tournaments, but then he there was an underbelly of it and it's like all fucked up and shit.
Like a betting pool?
No, like fucked
Like
up
a
shit going
betting.
on.
What? Are
Yeah,
there balloons involved?
with the-
It doesn't get weird with the balloons.
Tickled. It's called Tickled.
It's called.
It's called Tickled. And
What?
Yeah.
Is this like the fighting into the
not-
cake shit?
I'm not joking. It's called Tickled, and it's journalist David Ferrier stumbles upon a mysterious tickling competition
What?
online. As he delves deeper, he comes up against fierce resistance, but that doesn't stop him from getting to the bottom of the story. Stranger than fiction.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's called. Okay, so,
Okay.
It's a sport where participants with hands and feet tied down are tickled for as long as they can endure. Participants are flown to Los Angeles first class, paid to $1,500, and put up for 4 nights in a luxury hotel.
Oh, shit.
Suitable participants are deemed to be younger, muscular males. The event is held on a monthly basis. In contacting the organizer, the U.S.-based Jane O'Brien Media, via their popular Facebook page to arrange for an interview, David receives a return message from one of their representatives declining the offer. The message, a homophobic rant largely against David. In that message, Jammie asserts the competition is wholly a heterosexual athletic activity. Who does not appreciate what will be David's assumed gay bent on the story as a homosexual himself, which David does not state he is or isn't in his request. David finds the message all the more odd as the activity as it appears in the videos. He has an undeniable gay vibe. What is even more odd is that Debbie, on behalf of Jane O'Brien, continually emails David over the following weeks, expounding on the themes in the original message. At this time, David's friend Dylan Reeves enters the fray, acting initially as a researcher and then eventually as a co-filmmaker for a documentary on the subject. However, the documentary eventually morphs from the sport of competitive endurance tickling into the mysterious world of Jane O'Brien and Debbie Kuhn, especially as they seem to have unlimited resources both to hold the events and to conduct their online harassment. They learn not only of David but of former associates who now want to distance themselves from the quote-unquote sport, and Jane O'Brien Media, as Jane and Debbie initiate legal action and threaten even more legal action and issue general threats time and time against David and Dylan, not only for this unauthorized documentary, but for their activities towards Jane O'Brien Media as a whole. And as no one seems to know who Debbie or Jane are, even the people that work for them, or what their end goal is, namely what will be done with the resulting videos of the competitions which populate the internet. The story takes a further twist when David and Dylan learn there truly is a tickling sexual fetish subculture, one within that community. Richard Ivey, who willingly talks to David, who remembers someone else online decades ago, within the community with a similar MO to Debbie and Jane.
All right. And Emily, I'm going to need you to read the other side of that box and
Tickle
stay
Pod.
gagged on Tickled.
Tickle Pod, the new
And
podcast.
I am tickled that Emily
Gag Me
just
Entertainment.
tickled us with that tail.
You know what? Tickled me pink.
I'm a
tickled
fan
pink.
of Chuck Tingle.
I'm tickled pink over it, really.
So
Into the Tingleverse. Do it.
Valerie gets invited, but she says no, she
No,
can't
because
come
she heard
to
them
the
talking
party.
shit. She heard Diane talking shit. So she's like, no, I can't come. And then Trish goes back up to them and she's like, she heard.
So then they're all walking out. and
Apparently I watched it, but I don't remember.
Russ Thorne is watching in the rear view of the van. He's watching the crew, and they're like talking about going and getting provisions. And Linda has to go back and get her book. That's Brink Stevens.
Yes.
One of the
Who's now in a
original-
lot of shitty fucking slasher movies.
She's
but-
the original 80s Scream Queen, one of the
She's-
Nightmare Sisters.
I mean, questionably.
And then we see the phone girls in the dumpster. Linda's in the school.
Linda's in the dumpster.
The phone girls in the dumpster.
I know. I was joking.
But
Wasn't a good joke. I didn't.
Linda sees the coach, and the coach is like, "Yeah, don't get locked in." It's and it seems like she's going to. And Russ approaches, and he gets in somehow, and he drills her arm.
Shit.
He chases her around the school. And can you hear me?
Sorry.
Yeah, I got you.
Everybody hear me?
Yeah, sorry. My Siri just like wanted to do something by herself.
Siri, bad girl.
Yep.
Bad girl.
She's listening.
So yeah, he makes his presence known pretty quick and drills her arm, and then chases her, and she's got a pretty good hiding place, except she's bleeding from her arm, and it goes under the door, and that's how he finds her. And then he drills the door. There's a big scream, and we see Russ running to his van to drive off. Trish gets dropped off by Mark. There's a kitty cat.
Classic Trish.
And then we got stalker vision on Diane when she's walking home.
Getting dropped off
But
by
it's just John Miner, and Judo throws the shit out of him. And then the coach changes the radio and gets home.
Classic Trish.
There's a drill in the door, but it's just a peephole installation by her maid or something. There's some wind-up shoes.
Standard for that kind of house.
Trish winds up this little shoe toy and gets on the phone with Diane.
What?
Gets on the phone with Diane, and then knock, somebody's at the door, but it's nobody. And then she's like, I'm gonna play some piano. And then while she's playing the piano, somebody's on the stairs.
It's nobody. I'm gonna play some piano.
It's just a
Might
neighbor.
be somebody outside. Sounds like a good time to fucking recess into like rehearsals.
Well, somebody was on the stairs. It was the neighbor, and Mr. Content scares her, and then the coach is
what a cunt.
the coach is back at home cutting wine and cheese, cutting the cheese.
Oh, that's real.
When she breaks
really
the
funny.
glass and she hears noises, and she grabs one of the glass shards for protection, but it's just a cat scare. Kitty cats being cute. And then the boys are plotting their scare. They're gonna.
Did you guys catch that one of the kitty cats outside was actually named Mary Tublingan?
No comment.
All right.
I did.
So the boys are like, we're gonna scare these girls at their slumber party, and they walk right past the van.
Cool, bitch.
They walk right past Russ Thorne's van, and then the girls show up, and they're like, we're here for the orgy, but Mr. Content's still there. So Trish is like, dude, fucking
Orgy
shut
don't
the
stop
fuck
till
up.
Content leaves.
And she's like, we brought the Maui Wowie. Maui Wowie.
It's weed.
And Mr. Content won't tell as long as
Okay,
they
so
suck his
what the
dick.
fuck is Maui Wowie?
It's a
Like-
specific type of weed.
Yeah, but who hasn't
like
had
Thai
like
sticks,
all of it or whatever? It's like,
Weed was different in the 80s, man.
was it?
It was less prevalent. But not.
Like,
I
dude,
don't
I
know.
got this
I was a
wizard
baby
dick,
then.
man. Like, check this out. And it's
I
like,
didn't
what?
buy weed till the 90s.
Did you not?
I never bought weed.
He
in the
would have been
80s.
like an element. What are you talking about?
I was 9 in 1990.
I think I bought it in the 90s for the first time, too.
I didn't.
I've never bought weed in my
Well,
life.
Anyway.
Oh, no, I didn't buy it till 2003.
Well, no.
Oh,
It's been a
she's a
while. It's been a while since the 90s, but also, you
fucking
guys are still
old.
in the
I was a
market for
senior.
Quaaludes, right?
Nick, how much older than Emily are you?
But
He's younger than me. He's a year younger than
I'm
me.
a year younger than Emily.
How much older am I than you?
I'm 38, you're 41, so 3 years.
Okay.
I don't know. What's the point? We talk about it in so many fucking episodes, no one cares.
Mary Todd Lincoln
Maui
is
Wowie.
ageless.
Mary Todd
She
Lincoln
is
is only
eternal.
5 years old.
So Mr. Content says he won't tell
Leslie
her
Nielsen
parents
and
about
Mary
the
Todd
weed
Lincoln
as long
are
as
my spirit
they
animals.
all give him a head. They have to give the neighbor a head.
What?
And now it's a
I
porno.
mean, that's how you pay rent, right?
I turned Slumber Party Massacre into a porno.
Wait, what?
He
They're here
says
for the
he just
orgy.
did
You
that.
turned the Jeffersons into a porno? Genius.
Moving on up. Like my wiener. Oh, there's a Diane scare. Oh,
There's a Diane scare.
I skipped some stuff.
That's fine. Skip it. It's fine. No one cares.
Valerie's making Kool-Aid.
I promise.
And it's Tropical Punch, and Tropical Punch is my favorite Kool-Aid flavor.
Is
There's
it?
the little sister. What's her name? What's the little sister's name?
Courtney. She's the lead person in part 2, dummy.
Courtney. The little sister.
Courtney, you're underage. She tells Courtney she's been jacking off since the 5th grade. At some point, it's fucking weird.
A boy calls for Courtney. There's a... Hi,
Sorry.
Linnea. There's a party joint. Back at the slumber party, they're smoking a joint. And
I hope that's the right
There's a
one.
noise. There's a broken coffee pot because she left the coffee on.
Oh my God.
This is the one. There's the Diane scare. Valerie and then Courtney are talking about Brooke Shields, and there's a dog in the trash, and they have to clean up the
I mean,
trash
at the
can.
time, who wouldn't talk about Brooke Shields?
Courtney has
I've seen
stolen
Blue Lagoon.
Valerie's Sylvester Stallone Playgrill, and is told not to pull out the centerfold. Think it's gonna be worth money someday. And then we see a swing moving on its own. And then Jeff and Neil are in the window back at the party, and where they're watching the girls put on their PJs, and it says at every movie, "We must have died and gone to heaven."
Yeah, but in the second one, TJ's like, "No, dude, this is." I don't remember what he says, but it's like,
It's like, bro, I'm TJ.
"Take your tea,
it's
take
like-
your
it's
sweetheart,
TJ.
take
It's
too
like-
many
great.
diet
No, it's like
pills."
horror movie Porky's.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, bro, we must have died.
I love.
That happens in Slimeball Bowler.
I love him.
I
What's
love
his?
it when that
Wait, what's his
happens
name
in
again?
a
I just
horror
said it.
movie.
TJ. I love him. I love that character. He's so
He's
hilarious.
great in Pumpkinhead.
I remember him being in it. I'm seeing from him.
Dude,
He like accidentally runs over Lance Hendrickson's kid.
Is it because it's like surf's up, dude?
Oh, just kidding. Why you so tight?
Hang ten, bro.
I'm sorry, I just killed your
wait,
kid,
this is
bro,
next
but
week.
like,
Get over it, like just
getting
hang
some
10.
good dirt with some good dudes. Like, your kid, like, he went down in a good way.
You want you want a toe, bro?
He couldn't have gone down cooler.
Your kid totally saved that dog. When
Yeah, man, like, dude, your kid totally stuck
it's
my
all
landing.
good.
Act like you can hear this.
So they're
Maybe
watching him
it's
put
around
on
one.
pajamas. And you gotta stop. T orders a pizza. Who's T? Trish. Trish orders a pizza. Diane goes to the garage for firewood.
Kim's the
And
black
there's a
one,
snail
right?
scare, there's a
Kim is the
snail.
black lady, correct? Kim is black, and then Diane is the one that has a boyfriend. She just started having sex, and she wants to know if she's getting better at it.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I don't remember what's the blonde one's name. Or is that
the
Kim?
blonde's Kim?
Okay, well then
The blonde's Kim, bro.
what's the black girl's name?
Franklin? No.
What?
It's
Grasping at straws.
Linda. It's Linda,
Franklin to Linda?
bro. Linda.
No, Linda's Brink Stevens.
Oh yeah. I guess
Jackie.
Yeah,
Jackie
totally.
Brown.
Jack. Dude,
Franklin
don't say that. There's a snail scare at this point, and then Mr. Content shows
A
up with a
snail
machete.
scare.
And he's the most red herring neighbor, whacking snails with a machete. But then Russ comes up from behind Mr. Content and drills him from behind.
Hey. Easy there.
Match that dinner, Mike.
The bit's still in his neck, and the boys have a beer. They brought beer, yay! There's a wood scare. And,
A wood scare?
And
What is that? What's a wood
I watched
scare?
these movies 2
At
weeks
this
ago.
point, I would describe what you're talking about.
2 weeks ago, I would
I'm
have known
scared of
exactly what
wood.
was happening. But
It's fine. You can move on. I don't know what a wood scare is, but just move on from it.
there's some horoscopes.
Don't
And then
care.
Trish sees Russ, maybe. But there's a bloody Barbie in the window. This is where the mystery Barbie comes in. And we know it's not the neighbor that did the Barbie because he just got killed.
Neil?
Mr.
No,
Content.
that's not Neil.
Mr. Content is the first death, right?
John
Second
Miner?
Miner's not dead yet.
Mr. Content. Yeah.
Content.
He's drilled at 32 minutes. So,
He's drilled
So-
at 32 minutes.
he's drilled in the ass.
Yeah.
He gets butt fucked at 32 minutes. 35 minutes is
that
when he
like-
gets killed.
Are you going to read the
So
kill count like
the
that?
girls
He was
are all-
drilled at this point. And this point, like,
Yeah.
The girls are all freaked out, so they check the garage, but somebody's in there, and
there's always somebody in there.
it's
Russ Thorne.
Val gets the magazine back from Courtney and pisses
It's
Courtney off,
Jose
talking
Blanco.
about her jacking off.
Yeah. Rude. It's like, get over yourself.
And then the girls are listening to Diane and John's phone call. being
Very pro-women, though.
"Ooh," and the power goes out.
Oh, she's like, I think I'm
And
getting
somebody's
better at it.
singing the tune "Strangers of the Night." That's all I
No,
know.
just you.
And they go to the garage
You know
for the
Frank
fuse
Sinatra did a
box.
song called Emily?
Did he?
Yeah. I haven't listened to it yet.
Do you
But
receive royalties for it?
Kim-
no, I've been
I
asking
would
about
contact
it.
his family foundation.
I'm going to contact the Rat Pack as a whole.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean,
So, the garage.
hey, Mary Todd Lincoln.
Jeff and Neil get
She'll
caught in the
get back.
garage wearing masks.
I know she'll
No,
actually,
she
make it
responds
happen.
immediately.
She'll make things happen.
And Kim knocks Jeff out
She's not
with a
nice.
flashlight.
She's a cunt.
No, she gets shit done, but she's not nice.
Not nice about it.
Val's trying to study, but the trash cans again. Dang. And Courtney scares her with a knife. It's like, that's not a very good scare, kid. You could actually stab somebody. And it's the kitty. The kitty's there again. And John shows up. And Diane forgets to lock the garage door. And then there's some goofing around with the sisters, and there's some necking
As
with
you will.
Diane and Jeffrey in the car.
That's why this movie just gets really tedious for me. Like, okay, cool.
But
move on.
We're getting there. They're making out in the car, Diane and John Minor, and
there's not even a death in the second one for the first like 45 minutes, and I love it way
there's
more.
There's daiquiri making, and then we get some tip play, nice tip play with Diane and John.
Go on.
And she stops them like, "Hey, chill out. We can't do it here." And OG of sin.
The original sin is what you meant, I think.
Oh.
Probably like Adam and Eve. Maybe.
Okay. And then there's hot dogs on a black eye.
That's cipher.
Somebody gets a black eye and they're like, let's put a hot dog on it. And Diane comes back and John's head falls off. Oh, she went to go get hot dogs maybe for the black eye? I don't know.
For the
but
black
John's
eye.
head has
For
been
the
drilled
black
off.
eye, not the black
John
guy.
Minor's head has been drilled off. And the horn starts going, and Russ drills Diane. And Courtney hears it from across the street, but the fucking girls at the party
I
don't
like
hear
how
it.
it says John is
Because of the
majorly decapitated.
blender. The blender, they're making daiquiris, and the blender covers up the drill sound and the screaming.
Yeah, I remember that. I didn't rewatch this movie.
But Courtney the kid hears it, and then
that's like similar to there's another like a thing that was I think before that it was like Nightmare on Elm Street. They did the fucking blender that was like it was something.
No.
yeah, they blend something.
Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Evil Dead did it.
Because they're lesbians?
Simpsons did it.
The Simpsons used a blender?
All right, never mind. Mike,
No, it is an Evil Dead.
So the guys are gonna pay for the pizza.
Not the first
Thanks,
one.
No,
Joe.
it is in the first one. There's the cut to the.
Who has a fucking blender?
The girls are freaked out, so Kim calls the coach, and the pizza guy gets there, but his eyes have been removed. We guess by a drill.
Yeah, and then you see
She
him
hangs
sitting
up
up.
on.
I don't understand why she even called the coach, though, because, I mean, if she hadn't called the coach, why would you just call the cops first?
Well, she tries to call the cops after she hangs up on the coach, but Russ
Cuts
clips
the line. So if she had just
Oh.
fucking called the cops first, then she could have gone through to him. So dumb.
It's a big word for 2 letters. But
Okay.
then the coach calls Valerie to check in on them, but
She can't get through.
yeah, she changed. Well, she's about to do it. She changed her mind, and she's just gonna go over there.
What coach just goes over to people's houses and being like, "What up?"
Well, her fucking.
I never had that happen to me.
Her students are going
Maybe it's because you never played a sport.
I mean, yeah, I got kicked out of high school, so like,
I mean, I
there
had
weren't
coaches.
visiting me.
I had coaches, but they wouldn't have been one. Like, maybe if I'd been sick for a long time.
I never had a school official like.
If I'd been out, like I was out for mono, and my coach came to visit me, but like that was
Well,
a
he
long,
was the
that
one
wasn't
who
one
gave it to
night.
you, right?
Would you
Kissing disease.
Would you play like softball or some shit?
Me?
Yeah.
I was a gymnast I was a competitive gymnast, and then I was a cheerleader.
Did you say Confederate gymnast?
Competitive.
Oh, okay.
You wish.
No, I don't. I don't want to do.
Emily was almost
I'm not trying to do this
Mike.
podcast.
Shut
Yeah, I was
up.
almost.
Shut
On the
up.
Olympics. Thank you.
She was.
Dude,
Fuck you.
If you were in the Olympics, I would shit myself.
I was. You missed it. It was the 2000 Olympics. You didn't watch.
2000
That would be the
Special
shit.
Olympics.
If Emily, that would be the best thing of your lexicon. If like Emily done like bitch.
Don't say my whole name.
Shut
Don't
up.
say my whole name, A.
Oh
Don't say my
really?
whole name,
I
please.
didn't say your phone number or social security number, but it like bitch. I was in the Olympics.
Yeah, you all found out that I actually competed in the 2000
What was
Olympics.
the girl that was like? What was the girl that like broke her leg and was like, "You can do it"? And
Oh,
then
that was Carrie Strug.
Yeah,
That was the 96
Imagine
Olympics.
if it was just Emily and she was like, "Fuck you,
I wasn't old
dated
enough.
it."
I wouldn't have been old enough to compete.
Or
I'd
we're
be
like,
14.
"You can do it," and he's like, "Bitch, I know."
Yeah, bitch. Bella Caroli. I know I can. And she did, actually, and that's why we won.
No, I
anyway.
remember watching it in real time.
All right. So the gang prepares the house, like locks the doors and shit. And the guys they're going to run for help because it makes sense. Should have done that a long time ago, really.
Yeah.
But
Maybe don't watch them like in their. They don't eat. Whatever. Not even going to go into it.
But Jeff ends up finding Diane, and then he gets drilled, I think, in the garage.
In the back. And then drilled some more.
Yeah, drilled a little and then drilled some more.
Yeah, that's what it says in the kill count.
Drilled
Drilled
a
in the
little
back
drill.
and drilled some more.
Drilled some more. Just drilling away.
But he wasn't majorly decapitated like John Minor.
No.
I'm drilling
Also,
on
by the way,
sunshine.
you called it Mr. Content. Like, you were like, wouldn't it be cool? Well, that'd be weird if his name was Content, but his name is Mr. Content.
Yeah,
That's how
but
they
I swear the mom is like
No.
Mr. Content.
They say content. Content. Mr. Content.
It's still a weird fucking name.
Oh, yeah, everyone. You want me to name your...
Michael Carroll is not a weird name.
I've
His
met-
is.
Mine, long mine.
Yours is very, like, cowboy. Like, you should be on Justified.
Long
No,
Mine.
no,
Isn't there a show called
Yeah, there's a show
Longmire?
called Longmire.
Is it called Longmire?
There is, and it is
Isn't it
legal, so-
Cowboys?
But here's the thing.
I bet
it's
your
like,
dad loves
I
it.
remember when I was a kid. And I
I'm
was
a
in,
cowboy.
no, I was a kid and I
It's
was
this kid, he likes that Kid Rock's.
no.
I'm a cowboy, baby.
I can smell the pig a mile away. No, Kid Rock's right wing. He's all horrible now.
He shoots
He's always
Bud
been
Lights.
horrible.
Shut those Bud Lights.
Kid Rock, no,
Goddamn.
dude, no,
What they ever
he
do to
missed
him?
2 fucking 18 backs of them. Like he had like 6
He
of them.
dated Pamela Anderson.
Well,
Remember that?
Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah, she's got great taste in
no.
that.
Kid Rock is
They're
like
fake, but-
the funny thing about him shooting all those Bud Lights
I would
is
hope
like
they're
he's
perfect.
the Bud
If
Light
they're
of
fake. You gotta
No,
pay for quality.
Kid Rock is the Bud Light of Ted Nugent.
Kid Rock? Ew, no, he's like the natty light
No.
of Ted
Ted
Nugent.
Nugent is Bud Heavy of the right wing assholes. And also, like,
But
the
Bud
difference
Light is
between Ted
is
Nugent and Kid Rock
is
is Ted
progressive.
Nugent is a good guitar player.
True, and he didn't sing, and he does not sing on a Stranglehold. Just,
No, he doesn't. So you can listen to that.
I've seen him live in concert opening for Leonard
Have you
Skinner.
seen Ted Nugent?
Yeah.
You saw the Nuge?
Yeah,
So the Nuge sucks.
he had a
as
tail.
person,
He had a tail when he
but-
played. He wore a tail.
Well, of course.
Yeah, he played.
Twingo Tango,
He
baby.
played Cat Scratch Fever, and he was like, "This is the best lick of all time." And he played Stranglehold.
That guy is such an
and he's
asshole.
like,
If
"This
he
is the
would've
best
just
song
kept
of all
his
time."
mouth shut, he
And
would've
he
gone
did
down with,
sing.
like,
He
Billy
did
Gibbons.
sing. He sang on Stranglehold when he played it live.
He's just standing up for what he believes
Yeah,
in.
Nick.
Fuck him.
It's called the First
No,
Amendment.
dude. Ted. Okay. Can you guys agree? If nowadays,
I don't know why you're
if
screaming
nowadays,
at us, but-
if nowadays,
I've got something to say about
at a
Ted
party.
Nugent.
No, just hear me out. Hypothetically, at a party, if we put on either Ted Nugent or Gigi Allen, what would divide the party faster?
Not Stranglehold. Stranglehold, everyone loves that song. No,
no,
matter
I'm
what.
just saying, like, just
Gigi Allen.
No,
Yes,
it'd
it
be
would.
Ted
No,
Nugent.
Yeah, it
Ted
would.
Nugent.
Ted Nugent is
No,
now more
I like
offensive
Play
than
Gigi more
Stranglehold. Play the
than-
song Stranglehold at a party. See what happens because the girls get sexy.
We've just not heard expose yourself to kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for laughing, Nick. Okay, so
I know what
fucking
you're
Courtney
talking about.
calls Michelle. Talk shit, you know. Val's watching a movie. I wish I knew what the movie was.
Well, no, it was that movie that Joe Dante did, Hollywood Boulevard or something like that. Remember?
Okay. I don't remember, but-
don't remember. I know that, but like remember kind of
The
in your
slums of
brain
Beverly
from life.
Hills,
And, one of the
Hollywood
dudes
Boulevard,
at the
Joe
door-
Dante, the dude howling and gremlins
Yes,
and all that
he
shit.
did the movie they were watching.
Val's watching it, and there's screams and knocking in the movie, I guess.
That was
And
his
it's a
first movie, I
murder
think.
in the movie. And one of the
It
dudes,
was a Corman.
Piranha.
not
No,
Jeff,
the first movie he produced was this movie that she's watching.
the guy that's not Jeff, is pounding on the door asking for help.
Neil or something. Is his name like? Yeah, his name's Neil.
But she can't
No,
hear him.
Neil got killed before Jeff.
Jeff
Neil got
finds-
stabbed in the chest 5 times.
Well, Jeff finds Diane and gets drilled some more. The other guy.
The other guy got killed before him, 3
then
minutes
who's
before.
knocking on Valerie's
I
door?
don't know.
Somebody comes and is knocking on the door,
That's a
but
good
then
name
Russ
for a
comes and
movie like
fights
a
the guy.
Scorsese movie.
I think it
Who's
probably
knocking
is.
on
I think
Valerie?
it's
Russ comes and
It's
fights the
good
guy
movie.
and then knifes the kid Neil in her yard. The movie's covering all the noise. Russ carries the kid away and hides the bodies. Diane's, Miner's, Neil's, and Jeff's body, hides them all in the trunk of the car. Miner's
Yeah, Hollywood
car.
Boulevard, his first movie, 1976.
Joe Dante?
Yep.
That's crazy.
So
Piranha was the
I've
second
never
movie.
seen that.
And he was uncredited as directing
What was the
Rock
second
and Roll
one?
High School Piranha.
Dude, yeah, Piranha, yeah. I
see
thought that was his first one.
Russ counting the bodies, and he's like, "Oh, one's missing." And we see Jeff crawling back.
That's when he drills him some more after he's drilled him.
Okay,
Yeah. So he drills him, then
drills
kills
him.
Neil, then he drills him some
He
more. So
finds-
that's why his kill isn't really in the list till after Neil because
And in my notes, I didn't know that Jeff wasn't alive. You know.
yeah, well you wouldn't.
So Jackie and Kim are
Until you watch
hungry.
the movie.
So Jackie and Kim are hungry. So they just cover the body, pick the pizza up off the corpse, or pick the pizza off the floor. It's like upside down.
They're
in the
sitting
box.
on the
and they
pizza
just
guy's body.
set the pizza down on the dude like he's a fucking table. And
they're like, "You're not going to eat that dead guy's pizza," and she's like, "I feel better already. Really, I do."
They hear Jeff at the door.
It keeps it warm.
But Russ comes and finishes them off. Coach is on her way.
That dumb bitch in that Speedo shirt.
And we find out that Courtney has snuck out and Valerie is looking for her.
Yeah, that she jacks off 5 times a day or whatever.
So she knocks and rings the bell. Russ is watching. Jackie opens the door.
She gets her throat slashed.
And then gets her throat slashed with the drill, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Then there's a Courtney scare. Oh, I got you,
love
Valerie.
how you call everything a specific scare now.
Well, it's like a type of
when you
jump
said
scare.
boyfriend, boo, I'm your boyfriend.
I'm noticed that I've started to pick up that he's doing that.
Yeah,
It all started with a cat scare.
yeah, and then you did the boyfriend scare with boo. I'm
They're
your
jump
boyfriend.
When I say a Courtney scare, it's a jump scare caused by Courtney.
We already talked about it.
But it's like when it was me and you, we did that.
I'm just dropping the word jump. These are all jump
I
scares.
remember saying girlfriend.
I think it's better than saying jump scare.
a Courtney scare.
I prefer it to jump scare. In
Courtney
fact,
scare. There's lightning.
I like the
this
I like
is
the name
where it
scare.
really turns into a different kind of slasher movie because they banned like whatever her name is, Trish, who doesn't have any business being named Trish because no one does, but she bands together
It's
with
short
Kim.
for Patricia.
Sure, but she bands with Kim. Like they're like in a lot of movies, you know, the people they just get knocked off one by one. But at this point, they know what's going on. They're like going to fight back.
Yeah, so Valerie lets herself into Kim's house. And Kim,
Always a great idea.
Kim and Trish hear Valerie, probably think it's the killer. Valerie leaves. But then Russ sneaks in the fucking window.
And then stabs
The
Kim
floor
in the
creaks.
stomach.
He's right behind
Sabrina
him.
explains
He's
it
right
all.
behind the two girls, and
Or
they don't know,
creaks.
but then the floor
Explains it all.
creaks, and they
It makes
turn
that
around.
noise.
They knock him out with a bat.
Did you notice, though?
But he knifes Kim.
Did you notice when he knifes her, it kind of looks like he's
So
trying
did-
to slow dance with her?
I didn't.
When he, like, it looks like he's dipping her. Like, doing a dip. He does it, and then he, like...
Just lets her fall to the floor.
Yeah, but it looks like he's, like, dipping her.
So Valorie's looking for Courtney. These
Oh,
girls
no,
still
we
have
did-
no
we
idea
did.
what's going on.
Yeah, it was Freak Nasty.
Jermaine Debris.
Freak Nasty. That's who did the dip.
So Russ is looking for Trish.
Especially her.
I
Sorry.
fucking hate you guys.
What?
I just...
Emily's rapping over here, dude. You need to respect that.
Don't even matter your age. Don't mean to nap your number. You felt something but y'all.
Hey, man, she's fluent. And also...
That was no
So
flow.
Russ is looking for Trish, and Courtney's playing possum. Trish hides well in the closet, but Kim's in the fridge, and like
She has well in the closet.
Courtney's like opening the fridge, like I'm
So
gonna get a drink,
far back, she's finding
closes
Chris's
it.
presents.
And the third time that she opens
Other
it,
people's.
Kim falls out of the fridge, and here comes Russ.
But she never sees Kim fall out, does she?
She does the
Okay, at the third time? Okay.
They both see it.
Well, I
Courtney
would
and
hope.
Valerie. So Courtney hides under the couch, and Valerie goes down to the basement, and Russ throws the pizza man down in the basement, and then hides underneath the blanket so they think he's the pizza man. And Courtney's seeing this shit. She knows.
She's like, bitch.
But then the coach is at the door, lets herself in. Everybody's letting themselves in. And she lifts the blanket. And then it's time for fire poker versus drill action. Valerie's trying to find a weapon. She like picks up a camera and she puts it back down. She ends up getting the circular saw. But Courtney trips Russ and the coach hits him. Trish runs in and stabs him. And the coach stops her like he's dead. And she gets killed for her trouble. And then we find out that Russ is a classic incel. He starts being like,
Oh, yeah.
I've loved you guys since I first saw you this morning.
Classic incel.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
wait,
this is before
come
incels
again?
were a common
He's a
thing. He's like
proto-incel.
he's a proto incel.
Proto-incel?
It's like a
What the
like
fuck?
what's proto like the Stooges were like proto punk like
Yeah.
He's a proto incel.
This guy
Before
designed
Russ
it.
Thorne. Yeah,
the
he-
Like
scourge of the
inadvertently
incel.
designed
Yeah,
something.
he's the one that like started it all. He's the model. The Russ Thorne is the
Proto
incel.
incel. I mean,
So,
yeah, sure.
at this point,
yeah.
Valerie comes running in with a machete after the coach gets killed. And
I
she
would have cut
chases
that
Russ.
off. I would have cut that down if I could. If I was like, I would have been like proto incel, kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
Someone's never gonna get laid. They're not gonna reproduce. Useless. They're mad about it. Kill. Yeah.
So
Get rid of these people. Exterminate.
Valerie chases Russ out to the pool and deblades him. She cuts off his dick blade with a machete because this drill's a dick.
Yeah, the drill's
a fucking dick.
Yeah,
okay,
it is. It's symbolism for
awesome.
a penis.
and then she cuts off his goddamn hand and cuts his belly, and the pool's all bloody because he falls in there. And Courtney hugs her, but then Russ is coming out of the pool one-handed, and Trish helps to kill. She's trying to help Valerie, but Valerie's falling down with this machete, and Russ tries to jump at her and ends up getting impaled on this fucking machete. And then we hear sirens in the background. Fiend. Fiend.
Okay, kill count.
Kill
One
count,
is
kill
the phone
count.
repair woman. She's drilled in the head off screen at 5 minutes.
She was cute.
Yeah, she was. 2 is Linda. I think she should play Trish, honestly.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
Trish should have been the fucking
Phone man
gal.
repair. Yeah. 2 is Linda, who's drilled off screen at 16 minutes in. That's Brink Stevens. 3 is Mr. Content, who's drilled through the back of the neck at 32 minutes. 4 is John Miner, who's majorly decapitated at 45 minutes in. 5 is Diane. She's drilled off screen at 46 minutes in. 6 is the pizza guy who has his eyes gouged out at 47 minutes. 7 is Neil, who's stabbed 5 times in the chest at 53 minutes. 8 is Jeff, who's drilled in the back, and then after Neil is killed, he's drilled some more at 56 minutes. 9 is Jackie, whose throat is slashed with a drill. 10 is Kim. She's stabbed in the stomach with a knife at 1 hour and 3 minutes. 11 is Coach Jana, whose stomach is slashed open with a drill at 1 hour and 10 minutes. And then 12 is Russ Thorne, who's stabbed, slashed, de-handed, and impaled on a machete at 1 hour and 14 minutes.
Dehandicated.
So the budget was, at the time, $220,000. With inflation, that's about $693,000. Quite a fucking low budget. It grossed at $3.6 million. With inflation, that's about $11.3 million. The Slumber Party Massacre trilogy is the only slasher series to have not only all female directors but all female writers as well. Rita Mae Brown wrote,
and Hollywood put an end to that.
Did they?
Oh yeah, nobody's working.
Well, oh yeah, right now nobody. Rita Mae Brown wrote a screenplay for, that's the writer of this movie, for a parody of a teen slasher flick entitled "It Sleepless Nights." However, when she submitted it to the producers, they filmed it as if it weren't a parody and retitled it "Slumber Party Massacre." As a result, the movie displays a lot more humor, both intended and unintended, than others of this genre, especially as early as it was, which was 1982. Amy Holden Jones, the director, is not very sympathetic to people who complain that she's
Jones.
a sellout to her
She's
gender.
Holden Jones. Let him go. Let Jones go.
Woman who produced an
Jones,
exploitation
free
flick
Jones.
with a lot of naked girls in it. Quote, that's what Roger Corman, the producer, wanted, and that's how it's done. You give the studio what they want. Nobody complains that Scorsese, Jonathan, how do you say his name?
Talking Joe.
Demme. And Ron Howard make exploitation pictures, but when a woman tries, she gets called a hypocrite and a turncoat. That's bullshit. It should be noted that Holden Jones has parlayed into a successful film career, producing such hits as Mystic Pizza and The Getaway. She also points out that despite the film being slammed for its violence against women, most of the women here are killed off screen, while the guys get a lot of bloody on screen demises.
Whenever they were done with their scenes, we like disposed of them off camera.
Yeah. However, as with an early topless scene, Amy Holden Jones points out that the shower sequence was a requirement from Roger Corman. She shot it very by the numbers, just to tick the boxes. She was hired as the director, having only read the prologue to Rita Mae Brown's script and having never seen popular slashers of the time, like Friday the 13th. She discovered its degree of violence and sex later, but she worked to add scares and humor herself as, quote, I don't think her script was funny at all. So, the original ending had the killer killed in the living room where, he jumps up afterwards. But Roger Corman dug the film and gave Amy Holden Jones a little extra cash to write and reshoot a bigger ending. It was the right call, as this end not only castrates the killer by snapping off his drill bit, but also allowed Jones to emulate something she learned on Taxi Driver, because she worked on that movie. She rewatched Martin Scorsese's classic while rewriting this ending, and the constant yelling and pain in the film's finale struck a chord with her. It's very unnerving, she stated. The handy woman actor who drills in Coach Jana's peephole was actually one of the set designers. The rest of the stuff I think about, most of it is about Michael Villela, the guy that played Russ Thorne. He read the book Helter Skelter in order to do research for the role of Russ Thorne. He originally read for the role of the neighbor David Contant. He deliberately isolated himself and avoided cast members during the shooting of the picture. For the majority of the shoot, he was feeling like his character rather than just acting it out. The first draft of the script was called Don't Open the Door. Roger Corman insisted they use Sleepless Nights as the title while trying to convince homeowners to let their properties be used, quote, so that people would think it was a classy thriller. It was filmed in 3 weeks.
Sleepless Nights?
Yeah. I guess it sounds like Silk Stockings to me, but it was filmed in 3 weeks. The big conclusion, well, that was a reshoot. Okay. The most difficult scene for Michael Villela, Russ Thorne, was when his character fell into the pool because he is not a swimmer. He hates water. The pool water was freezing cold, and he had to float in the pool for several minutes during and between takes, much to his disapproval as he wanted out.
Get me out of here.
So that is all the trivia I have.
As possible.
I have a couple actor notes. Val is Robin Still. I love her, especially in fucking Sorority Babes of the Slime Ball Bolorama, which also features Linda Brink Stevens. But she was an American Ninja Vampire Knights. And then we got Trish, who's in Death Wish 4, Satan's Mistress, and New Year's Evil. Kim was in Iced.
Oh, I love Iced. She does a lot of workouts in the kitchen. She never helps in the kitchen by doing anything that anyone's doing, like cooking in the kitchen. But she shows up in the kitchen a lot to work out. Like she has dumbbells in the kitchen for some reason. It's a really good movie.
Did you know Neil's also in Iced?
Yeah.
And Kim's also in the
like
80s Dr. Caligari
I'm pretty sure
movie.
Neil's the killer in Iced.
Jeffson Sorceress, Bikini Summer. Linda, I already said she was in Bolorama, but she's also a Nightmare Sister. She's one of the big scream queens of the 80s. Teenage Exorcist, Jacko.
That's what she,
Mr. Content was in Beetleborgs and Swarm of the Snakeheads. John Miner was in Police Academy 2 and Ed Wood.
Yeah.
Diane was in Sword of the Sorcerer.
Tim Burton Ed Wood?
Yeah, no, the other one.
Oh, okay.
Then the coach was in...
I know the other one, the fucking, John Huston one.
Of what?
Yeah,
Ed Wood.
Oh.
He was
Ed Wood or Ed
He was
Wood?
in the Oscar award.
Ed Wood.
Because they won the Oscar from the guy that played Bela Lugosi. What's his name?
Burt Lancaster?
Not Burt Lancaster.
Anyway.
Burt Lancaster's not in Ed Wood.
What is that dude's name from Ed Wood that played Billy?
Eddie!
Nick, how many stars do you give Slumber Party Massacre 1?
It's not a... What now?
How many stars do you give?
Oh, dude, okay.
This turkey.
So, okay. This was a mimic, but also a setup for a lot of cooler things. And also...
Martin Landau? He was in Ed Wood.
Martin Landau. That's yeah.
Yeah, the last.
He was also in Alone in the Dark. But anyway, okay, yeah. How many stars do you give this one?
So this was a mimic and spawned great things. So I say a good 2.5.
You see, you rate it lower than I do, which I don't like. This is my least favorite of the 3.
Me as well. But that's the thing.
You guys like the third one better?
I do.
Whoa.
I don't know, a franchise starter. Or whatever.
What do you? How many?
I think this movie
is
super tight. I'm gonna say I give it a 3.75. It's not quite at the 4 level of enjoyment, but
Slumber Party Massacre 2. Well, you'll hear those. So I give this.
Better,
I give both of those movies more than this. I give this one.
Insane.
I give this one 3.
2's insane and 3's.
It's average.
It's a mimic.
When I rewatch the Slumber Party Massacre movies, I will rewatch 2 and 3. I never like to rewatch 1.
Yeah.
It's very forgettable for me. Not forgettable compared to some other slashers, but forgettable in the trilogy.
You just straight 3.
Yeah, straight 3.
Straight 3.
Straight 3.
Stay gagged on these rhymes, motherfucker. Stay gagged on pizza off like that, man, motherfucker.
Stay gagged on a drill.
Dick drill.
The dick drill.
What are you gagged on, Nick?
Stay gagged on all of our social media, Instagram, TikTok, Gagging with Knife Podcast, Twitter, Gag Knife Pod. Become a Patreon for early access to episodes, member shout-outs, fan-requested episodes, and bonus exclusive episodes you won't hear anywhere else at www.patreon.com/gagmewithknife-podcast. Buy our merch at gagmewithknifepodcast.com, and we will see you next time for Slumber Party Massacre 2. Get ready to buzz.